All right. Hey, this is Gary K. We are coming to you live from InfoComm 2019, the end of day two. The show floor just closed just now. We're doing a live broadcast here from InfoComm 2019 from the rAVe booth in the lobby of the convention center. I'm joined with a couple of special guests here. First off, our editor, Sarah Abrams. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm really good today, Gary.
I want to come back to Sarah and just I want to tell you a little story about Sarah, but I want to introduce
Okay.
everyone first.
Excited
Mark
about that.
Thompson here is on my left. Mark, how are you?
I am awesome.
AV Phenom. Oh, her microphone's not working. All right, that's good. And then Victoria Barella. Victoria, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, trade? Okay, trade microphones. All right, good, good. Apologies for having some audio issues. As always, it's the AV industry, what happens. But anyway, Sarah's our editor. Mark Coxon, blogger. He's been blogging with us for about 5 or 6 years now. Victoria Barella is a podcaster. We got everyone represented here.
Hey.
As I said to you yesterday, if you watched day one of our show wrap-up show, we are going to do rapid fire. What did we see on the show floor that we thought that was hot that you should know about? But I first want to tell Sarah, on behalf of everyone in the, I don't know, hopefully 15, 20,000 viewers that we have that will ultimately watch this easily in the next week, I want to tell her thank you for staying awake last night till 3 a.m., titling and uploading videos so that we have content. We shot over 700 videos yesterday. We shot over 600 videos today, which means there were around 1,300 videos so far the first 2 days of the show, and Sarah stayed awake till 3 o'clock in the morning. First off, Victoria. Victoria is one of the 3 people running our podcast station here at rAVe. Podcast station is actually in the Peerless booth. By the way, our live broadcast here, as you can see on the screen, is being brought to you by Extron. Extron is the sponsor of rAVe TV, and we are streaming this live thanks to their SMP processors, H.264 video streaming engines. Victoria, tell me one product that you think is a hot product you saw today on the show floor.
All right. So ironically, I ran into this product as I hijacked Johnny's podcast. So it was a gunfire detector sensor. I even kept the business card. SafeZoneTech.com. Basically, it was a sensor. When you walk the show floor, you want something cool in your face, but you wouldn't notice this unless you came up and learned about it. It saves lives. Every minute counts. So this sensor is a learning machine that detects that if a gunshot was off, it detects it, it alerts you guys, and every minute counts. And I think they put on their website even a statistic that after 5 minutes of a shooting, that's when people get the detection.
The school security is a big problem right now, or dangers in schools, and there's an opportunity for us to help solve that problem.
Exactly.
So I think what you're talking about is a product that could be connected to the network systems that we have to alert authorities to those kind of problems.
Yes, and I actually took a class about mass notifications that just went right into that podcast. So if you want to check that out, we went into depth about it for about 10 minutes. So check it out on the Trade Show Minute.
And AV Phenom is right here next to me. He's famous on Twitter and on social media. Mark Coxon, I want to thank you for joining me today. I know you're flying back tomorrow, but I also know that you spent a lot of time the last 2 days walking the show floor. Mark Coxon, who's been blogging and podcasting for us for about 5 years. Tell me a couple of things you saw that you think are important for those viewers at home that aren't here at InfoComm here in Orlando.
Well, good. So, a couple things. First off, Twitter famous means not famous, in case you guys didn't know that. But a couple things I saw on the floor. I did write I wrote a blog a couple months ago about companies I wanted to watch in 2019. And one of those companies is a real small company that's been around a while that you guys might not know about, but it's Williams Sound. And Williams Sound has turned into Williams AV. And Williams Sound used to be just assisted listening. So if you needed to, give people assisted hearing in a church for something, you give them a headset and a little pack and they're good to go. But Rob Sheely has taken over that company. And one of the really cool thing that they have in the booth was BluePod. And BluePod is a Bluetooth hub. So your microphones and your speakers for the room all connect into this. When you come in, you find that on your phone. And when you launch your phone call or you launch your laptop Skype call, you connect your laptop to Bluetooth. All the systems in the room become connected to your computer through the Bluetooth connection.
So basically, it's a UCC microphone and speaker, but also acts as a Bluetooth connection. So if you want to do a phone call on the fly using your cell phone rather than the UCC system, you can do that using the same speaker.
Yep, and the microphones on the table pick you up, the microphones on the ceiling pick you up. You use the room audio just like you would in a normal call, and you've done nothing but make a phone call on your iPhone by connecting to the Bluetooth.
So that's WilliamsSound.com, now known as Williams AV, Blue Pod. By the way, I pretty much feel like I should just go ahead and leave right now because Mark Coxon's voice is, you do have the ultimate voice for broadcasting. You realize that, right?
I do not.
You do. You have a voice that is making me sound terrible. I'm having to yell in the microphone to even get close to the level of voice he has. Hey, you stole one of my products here that I was going to talk about, but we're going to come back to you because I want some other things.
Cool.
I'm going to go through a bunch of things real quick that I saw on the show floor. You need to look up ucworkspace.com, ucworkspace.com. They signed a platinum partnership agreement with NEC and Avocor to custom design an interface for all their collaboration boards. Now, what's interesting about that and what's interesting about UC Workspace is that it is a universal front-end system. So regardless of what brand you might have of a collaboration board, you can make all your collaboration boards look the same when you walk into a room, which I think is a killer product. Panasonic, kudos to them. They brought kids here to the show to play all day long in a Fortnite Battle Royale, literally in real time. They're showing their technology. It is a great demo, real-world demo. Fortnite is a hot game. It's the #1 video game in the world right now. It's free, and the kids range in age from 7 years old to 17 years old, and they're playing live in an actual online battle royale in the Panasonic booth. AV over IP everywhere, theme of the show, no question. We shot a VR booth tour of Epson last night. It's going to be posted by the middle of next week. You'll be able to walk through the Epson booth in VR, and it's incredible. We've already seen a preview of it. We're excited about that. By the way, thanks to Extron for bringing this to us. We are broadcasting this live on the Extron SMP streaming system. It's working flawlessly, I hope. The audio system is not anyone's fault other than mine. I guess I grabbed the wrong microphone. Barco has a really cool pixel mapping demo where they actually use 3 different projectors to pixel map to the same image, and you can't tell the difference. And the difference in the projectors is 2 of them are 3-chip, the other one is a 1-chip system, and they're showing that you can actually do pixel mapping using different projectors from your rental stock. And shout out to Avocor, who's dominating the collaboration board market. Avocor actually won Best Collaboration Board Product in the Reader's Choice Awards. Turn it over to Sarah, our editor. Awake till 3 o'clock in the morning. She must have some ideas of some good products. So I'm going to give you the microphone.
Yeah, I actually learned about these products not from walking the show floor, but from watching videos other people have shot. Just a couple little things real quick. There's a company called Tanvis that you've probably seen before. They go to DSE, they've been at InfoComm, and they make a haptic touch technology that can be integrated into displays, which I always thought was interesting, but I'm like, what is the application for this? Well, they have a partnership with Mimo monitors now, and they demonstrated a pretty useful AV application, which is if you're doing a live event, you can use haptic touch dials. So you can turn a dial that's just on a display, a touch display, and feel the turn like clicks.
So it's a virtual dial that feels real. Virtual dial that feels real.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I also saw from Teradek, and I have an interest in video being streamed successfully. So Teradek has a new HEVC encoder that has directly integrated cellular bonded, which they say is the only cellular bonded HEVC encoder on the market. I don't know if that's always definitely true, but
one thing that Sarah and I know really well is how bad convention center Wi-Fi is. So anything that is cellular bonded that can bypass convention center Wi-Fi, as those who tried to watch last night know, is good.
Yeah, cellular bonding, my ears perk right up. And then the last thing I saw, which was really more kind of like to demonstrate something thematic, which is that Vuzix added voice control to their digital signage, so anyone can walk up and Well, yeah, the guy who programmed it is named Andrew, so they made their little voice assistant named Andrew but I think it can be customized. So you can walk up and say, "Hey, Andrew," and like on a university campus, you can pull up like a specific wayfinding. Anyway, there's been a lot of focus on going away from touch displays and moving towards gesture control or voice control for, I don't know, germ reasons. And so I think that you're going to see a lot more development with those things. Obviously, we saw a lot of voice digital assistants integrated into products. That's not new. It's happened the last couple of years. But voice control into products that are out in public and integrated into digital signage, I think you'll see more, as well as gesture control.
Sarah said, I'll come on and I'll talk about some products, and then I got to go title some more videos. So I'm going to give her permission to leave, and I'm going to ask Johnny Moda to join us here. So Sarah, you can go back and title videos. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes,
I'm also going to ask Kirsten, who's off camera there, go over there and grab the team that shot the videos and grab the team that did the game the last 2 days. I want to introduce all of them to everyone on rAVe TV today. Johnny Moda. Who's Johnny Moda? If you use hashtag #AVTweets, you should thank Johnny Moda. He invented hashtag #AVTweets 10 years ago yesterday. Johnny Moda, 10 years ago, invented #AVTweets. Johnny, what did you see on the show floor that people at home need to know about?
Well, first of all, I feel super old, so thanks for that. Second of all, if you know me, I love audio. And I walked around until I saw a really cool audio product. I'm more on the resi side of things. However, I ran into Blue Sound, who has this really cool high fidelity audio system on the CE side of things, on the resi side, but now they're getting into a full suite of commercial products. So they have rack mountable stuff. They have PoE speakers that are basically an endpoint that don't require their system, and you can take systems like, or audio sources like Tidal that play 192 kilohertz per second at 24-bit, and you can have high quality audio.
Awesome.
And in your commercial systems. So it's not just one specific product, but a full suite of commercial products. I don't believe that anyone is doing this currently at this high resolution in a commercial space, so that really caught my eye and ears. You should check it out.
Who's the manufacturer again?
Blue Sound from the Lenbook Group.
Okay, Blue Sound from the Limburg Group. Listen, InfoComm 2019 is not over. We got some more stuff to cover. But Mark Coxon, tell me about your impressions of the show floor. My impressions in walking the show floor, and I spent 2 days out there, is that it's packed. It's going to definitely break an attendance record.
Yeah, I agree. So this is the first year in like 6 years that I've been unchained from a booth. So I'm enjoying my freedom. On a side note, I thought cellular bonding is what I did with my wife every night during the show, but I guess it's something else.
Oh my gosh,
yes,
hope she's not watching.
The show floor is very packed. I've had trouble navigating. Sorry, I threw everybody off.
We might get in trouble with our sponsors.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So, the show floor is very packed. I've had a lot of trouble navigating and getting around in certain times where I'm just shoulder to shoulder with people.
Yep.
And I haven't seen that in the last few years. I'd be interested to see what the contingency of the show is when InfoComm releases the demographics. Have we continued to grow that new user base and that end user base? From my talk that I gave, my talk was probably 25% integrators, 1% consultants, and 75% end users. So
what was your talk? Tell us about it.
My talk was using AV to trigger biological responses, and not the ones you think about, but it was using it to create attention and retention and make sure that people actually did what you wanted to, because AV is about communication and about stirring the soul, and you want somebody to do something with the information you give them, and so I was trying to teach people how to do that.
Excellent. Victoria, what are you impressed? You've been with us now for, I think, 3 or 4 years running rAVe Radio Podcast, which, by the way, is in the Peerless booth. Thank you to Peerless for sponsoring rAVe Radio this year. And between the three of you, you've recorded already around 50 podcasts. So you've been busy. What's the show floor traffic, and what's the guest been like?
Oh, gosh. There's a lot of people coming by. They're saying hi. They're listening live. We had a whole crew from California listening today, and they were just texting, hey, what's this? Asking questions. So that was really cool. Different industries, too, listening in. So I encourage that. I'm trying to figure out, if you know of other people in the industries, tell them to listen in. Today, I just did more of the booth so I didn't actually walk around too much today, but it did look like a lot of people were in the Peerless AV booth, so that was awesome.
We've given out a record number of T-shirts. We do a thing called The Game. This was our 10th year in a row of doing The Game. The whole idea behind The Game is to make trade shows fun. And to make trade shows fun, we need people, and we need really good people to do that. And we're privileged to have a lot of really good people that joined us this year in Orlando who are all standing around the outside of the camera here, off camera. And I'm going to ask them all to just crowd in here and introduce yourselves and wave and show them who you are. Come on, don't be shy. Come on and get on camera and say hello. Listen, this is and takes a village. This is not something that we can do without their help. And I want to thank all of them for making this happen. Let me tell you what they do. They're divided into two groups. One group does the game. One group shoots the videos. There's a reason why we're going to post about 1,800 videos over the next 3 days or during the 3 days of the show. And it's thanks to that video shooting group and the back-end engine that we have and people like Sarah and Jacob that make that happen on the production side. And then we have the game team. And it may seem like they're having a lot of fun, which they are having a lot of fun, but they're working they're very hard, working tough hours, and thanks to them. But we couldn't do any of this without our sponsors. And I want to recognize our biggest sponsor, Extron, who's now the sponsor of all the live rAVe TV broadcasts that we will do at all trade shows in the future. We'll be using the Extron SMP H.264 streaming devices from now on to stream all of our content. I want to mention one thing cool that I learned today that I think all of you will find interesting. Went to the Canon booth. Is it Canon or Casio? Let me make sure I get that right. Went to the Canon booth today and learned that one of the things that they have 100% market share is there's only one brand with a projector on the space station, and that's what they chose. Sorry, Casio. They chose the lamp-free Casio projectors. I keep saying Canon because I'm thinking the lenses. I'm thinking of the camera in front of me. They chose the lamp-free projectors. And think about the amount of work that NASA has to go through to decide what to put on a space station. Because if it fails, they looked at stuff like what would happen to the lenses if they exploded? What would happen to the air quality if something happened?
No pressure.
What's that?
I said no pressure. I'm
no
picking
pressure.
those.
Yeah, exactly. And they have their projector on the space station, which I thought is cool, and I love that kind of stat. And I love these kind. We geek out. Do we not geek out, John?
Oh, way too much.
I think he needs more coffee.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
How long has Johnny been up today?
I don't think I went to bed last night editing and stuff. So
Yeah, we all listen. During these 3 days, we don't leave. We leave if we do leave, we leave very late. Most of us left last night between midnight and 3 a.m., and that included doing a lot of editing and post-production and things like that. And before we sign off, someone just walked up here, and I'm going to force him to come on camera. Dave Labuscus. Dave, you're going to come say hello.
Please.
I'm not going to ask you a tough
Dave,
question. I just want you to wave to the guests at home. Just you don't have to say anything. Dave Labuscus is CEO of VIXA. He makes this show happen. And we are all heading tomorrow morning to the first ever Avixa 5K fundraiser for the Avixa Foundation. I want to thank Gary Kirk and Jacob Blunt for making this live stream on rAVe TV happen. We're going to count down, and we're going to say goodbye in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Check out all of our coverage at ravepubs.com/InfoComm 2019.